last week on a wet and windy night, with no motivation to finish my college assignment, I began to pursue the internet as a way to procrastinate, as we all often do, having complete Sonic the Hedgehog on an emulator a few hours earlier. I was in a nostalgic mood. After searching YouTube for old Sega Genesis commercials, my fingers still lingered on the mouse. Clicking on suggested videos, it revealed old memories from my childhood. I felt a comfort. Comfort one only gets for seeing things you never really knew had such an influence on you when you were younger and innocent. Soon I was lost, revealing in such a classic as Melt in Your Mouth, Not in Your Hands, Who Loves Orange Soda, No Soup for You, How You Doing, Come With Me If You Want to Live. The truth is out there, and of course, WASP! I only realized that I lost track of time when I tried to find my phone and I was pitch dark room checking the time on the monitor. I was shocked to find it was already after 2 a.m. I resolved to go to bed as I had class in the morning, but couldn't resist watching one last video. Just to round off the night. Scanning through the suggestions, I was disappointed to find that I had watched them all except for this one video at the very bottom, entitled Bill Cosby Sells His Soul Pudding. Well, I had a vague idea of who Bill Cosby was from old Simpsons videos. I never actually seen anything he was famous for, but I'll admit the little integrity me somewhat. As I clicked the link, the sat back to be entertained, I had no idea that I was making the biggest mistake of my life. The video started off innocently enough, obviously some old commercial for gelatin. Bill Cosby was standing in the kitchen surrounded by little kids. It's an easy way to make Jell-O instant pudding. Just shake it, he announced in a cheery voice. The video skipped a bit as this point lingered on the shake it part. A tad annoying, but the internet in the house could become a little jittery at times, so I was used to it. The video cut to Cosby's head moving in from the left of the screen. Follow the directions, he said. I wasn't sure why at the time, but something about this was vaguely unsettling. Though I thought perhaps it was due to the fact that I was sudden jump cut. A mangled version of the product jingle played, and I cut back to follow the directions. Slower, my brow forward. The next part was of a different advert. Cosby was holding four jiggly moments. The moment seemed to be semicircle, moving from the start to the end and back again. It's hypnotic and quite elucidating. She made it all more abrupt when the audio cut to triple speed. I was making these water balloons wriggle. I felt at this point extremely uncomfortable, like my defense were being broke down. I felt like just like gelatin. Cosby finished the thought for me several times. This was beginning to feel really weird. The scene cut to a ginger kid repeating the same movement over and over. That's it, I thought. Enough of this. Ginger kids freaked me out at the best of times. As I raised my hand to move the house, however, something peculiar happened. I cut to Cosby again, moving his left hand in seemingly random directions, putting pop in his right, repeating this, or this. A number of times, my right hand immediately became stiff and started to spasm beyond my control, disrupting my path, my mouse. At that point, I was powerless to control myself, forced to sit and witness what I was unfolding before me. Regardless of will, at this point of no return, Cosby lingered, a look of surprise my way, almost mockingly emitting a demonically low-pitched moan. I was scared. Another kid seemed to be echoing my emotions. Hey, Bill Cosby, what's that? Ha ha, aha, aha. If I had screamed at that point, I would have. Followed the directions, Cosby repeated horrifyingly. The mangled jingle played again for longer this time, each second forcefully propping up my eyelids. The watermelon part repeated, even slower than before, but instead of being a nuisance, I felt full with submersiveness. The scene cut to smiley face clock, moving his hand in almost waves-like pattern. A bit crunch warning repeated, almost too quick for me to make out. You sing, you die, you sing, you die. Before crunching completely to a jarring buzz, its eyes popping out and shut and spin. Follow the directions, follow the directions. The video grinded to a complete halt. Cosby's judgmental eyes quick to scroll on mine. long enough to make me feel a glimmer of hope that the internet had failed before he whipped his head back and said, "Don't worry." With a smug, punning pop swirl, the demon Cosby finished before letting his head fly about radically, something out of The Exorcist. What? He continued as if to eradicate my morsel of critical thinking left in my being. The demon proceeded to fill a chocolate pudding pop with sizzling, unholy glee as close-up to cut its burning erotic gaze left me with no semblance of the lie that I had not been violated, even though the video quietly was grainy, whose eyes pierced me to my very soul. It was so hyper-realistic. Thank you. It finished before poisoning itself like a cat ready to pounce. A brief respite that followed. I allowed myself to exhale for the first time since the horror began. As the breath exited, however, I felt my consciousness follow suit. All randoms of perceptions followed as I slipped into an abyss serenaded by the haunting echo of watermelons, marking my descent into darkness until I knew no more. Sound of the front door closing. Man, I must have been conked out for at least an hour, I thought to myself as I rubbed the back of my creaky neck on the way down to the kitchen. I felt exhausted as I pushed open the door, but I needed both water and to find out who could be calling at this time. Turns out it was just my housemate getting home from a nightclub. "Hey man, didn't know you went out. Don't you have an exam in the morning? What is it, like 4 a.m.? What are you talking about, dude? It's only 12:30 and the exam was this morning. You high or something?" At this point, I felt extremely muddled. Nah, man, that can't be right. I fell asleep like 2 hours ago. We just finished playing Sonic earlier on. Remember? Dude, that was yesterday. I ain't seen you all day. Whatever you gotta share with me. Here we are, you gotta share with me. He chuckled, my face knotted in a ball of confusion. I simply turned to go check my calendar upstairs. I've been right. Fine, he snorted, and by the way, you owe me a box of pudding pops. Called out to the froze. I froze. What did you say? My pudding pops. I had a whole box this morning. Now they're gone. I thought I felt a tremendous fear and boiled up on the stairs. Hey man, don't worry about it. I ain't mad. Just get some new ones when you can. That's all, he shouted. I could barely hear him though as I raced to my room, checked my computer. I thought it was just in power saver mode when I woke up, but now it would have been turned on. She was on standby, but the actual computer was unresponsive after a frenzied inspection. I found that the power cord had been cut. To say I was freaked out would have been a massive understatement. What in the name of holy God is going on? I remember muttering to myself. It's been a whole week since then. Things have just been getting stranger and stranger. The blackouts are becoming longer and more frequent, and I can feel myself slipping away. Every time I've slept, I've been plunged by visions of the beast, pudding, and ginger kids everywhere. I try my best to fight it. I've been awake now for 48 hours, but it's not use. I can feel Bill Cosby's presence even in my walking moments. Sometimes I don't know where I am. I can't communicate in anything other than an interstitial jabbering. 2 days ago, I suddenly snapped back to reality. I found myself staring at my fridge, full to the brim with pudding pops. I screamed and tried to run, but immediately fell to the floor as I was wearing 2 halves of watermelon on my feet instead of shoes. I'm really scared. There's no one in my house anymore. All my housemates have disappeared. I can't even bear to think what may have happened to me. What I am in my delirium may have been done. The monsters may have used to these hands, for I'm doomed. There's no hope for me. Realized. To those who love me, my family, my friends, try to remember me as I once was. Everyone else, for all that is holy, whatever you do, do not watch the video. Oh God, flip-flop. It's happening again. I can't feel it. God, please. Sam Zombie, I can't. Help me. Loop. Well, guys, that was I think that was like a funny pasta, I guess. Like a little funny one. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next Friday.